from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for January 2025. So on January 11th, we have a major astrology shift taking place, which I did talk about in the 2025 year ahead overview. And we definitely did a deep dive in the mini course that I held for that 2025 year ahead overview as well, which is the nodes of the moon. We have the nodes of the moon shifting out of the Aries and Libra axis that we've been on for the last 18 months, learning a very tough love life lesson on where it is that we have to break away from codependent relationships, toxic relationships, relationships that put us in a situation to dim our own light in order to advance the agendas of other people, letting go of the people pleasing, letting go of trying to constantly mediate and compromise ourselves in order for other people to get ahead of the game. What we've been having to learn the hard way is where it is that we need a little bit of a solo quest, where we need to stand alone on our own 2 feet, in our own energy, getting to know thyself so that we can heal thyself and therefore activate the creator abilities, assert oneself out in the world, to take that leadership role and actually go after the things, not only that we're passionate about, that we truly desire, but that we have a soul contract to pursue. This is about bossing ourselves up, being so strong within our own authenticity that, again, when we kind of open ourselves up to relationship dynamics, it's going to be a totally different jam because of the work in which we've done within ourselves. So we're wrapping up this huge 18-month karmic life lesson, and we are moving into the Pisces and Virgo axis. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because, again, if you really want to do a deep dive, there are other resources out there for you to be listening to. There is the January energy guide that has a little bit of a section in that workbook about this particular event. Again, I did a whole astro class on this that you can either join Patreon as a VIP and gain access to it that way, or access it as a pay-per-view. Either way, it's an hour-long session talking about what this nodal shift means for the collective, for us as individuals, where to find it in your birth chart, what that means, how that's going to impact your own natal placements where your north node and south node are concerned. And so there's already a lot of information, a lot of resources out there for you. But just wanted to bring up the fact that if you've been with me for any amount of time, you would know I'm not really one that buys into all of these portals, all of these gateways. However, as I previously mentioned in the 2025 year ahead overview, I actually think this is a pretty special day. Not only is it the 111 energy that definitely is significant when it's actually in alignment, but having the nodes of the moon shift on the day, not only that, but into Pisces energy, which is karma, which is our soul self, which is spirituality, which is healing, I think is a major opportunity for us to all be manifesting. Again, we're still under the influence of that new moon in Capricorn. We are coincidentally, if you believe in coincidences, having this 111 energy compounded with the nodal shift just days before the full moon in Cancer energy, which of course is a part of the lunar cycle that we've been manifesting. If you don't have the moon guide in front of you, I'm going to recommend you do so. We're only halfway at this point, and we're in Capricorn season. This is the manifesting energy, especially for our long-term goals and visions. So having all of these energies swirling, definitely creating a little bit of an emotional turbulence. A lot of that is just playing off of a lot of the other placements that we have going on in the astrological chart for the collective. But basically, this is always a time of transition. When we're shifting into a new energy, we're all going to need a little bit of time to adjust to this particular energy. But on the healing axis, no doubt, the next 18 months is going to kind of push us all to a certain quote quote unquote break down before we break through where our healing is concerned. Yes, the physical and mental healing of the Virgo energy of the South Node that we have to move away from. Again, if you think you're going to the gym and working out your physical body and that's enough, unfortunately for you, you're going to have a huge reality check because the energy is now shifting where we have to take a little bit more care, a little bit more time to nurture our creativity, our intuition, our empathy, our compassion, our spirituality. The Pisces energy is emotion and intuition. All of the things that do not have boundaries, that live outside of being able to put a tangible label on it. It's all of the things that really illuminate the mystical, superhuman part of us. And so it is going to be very challenging, thus why I spent the time that I've already spent kind of, telling you what the challenge is going to be, which is to get out of our headspace. Get out of needing to know all of the answers, needing to overanalyze and overthink every damn thing, and instead trust. Trust that you're where it is that you need to be. Trust that you're walking forward in faith and in trust, not only in yourself that you're going to be capable to deal with whatever it is that life throws at you, but trust the greater, grander plan. This is definitely going to be a challenging chapter for a lot of people, but again, going to invite you to lean all the way in. We got to do the work. This is a beautiful time to not only do the shadow work, to release and remove a lot of the junk and the gunk that we have been kind of holding in our physical and metaphysical bodies for the last 18 years. Because again, nodes of the moon go 18 years through all the signs, which means that we haven't had an opportunity to activate this Pisces and Virgo axis for 18 years. This is definitely going to put us in a situation where we're going to have to believe in something bigger than just our physical environments, just what it is that we think we know. We are going to have to really restructure how it is that we are addressing the mind, body, and soul equation. This is definitely going to be a tough part for the collective to get out of relying on the intellect to, sort through all the different variables, to put the pieces of the plan together, to, really focus on all of the details that could happen or may never happen, and instead surrender to the fact that even if we have a solid plan together, things aren't going to go according to said plan. This is a time to have let's call it stronger connection to our higher selves, to our intuition, to our creativity, to our imagination, to all of the superhuman capabilities that many of us have been working very hard on to activate. So this is going to be I'm going to call it boot camp. I know we've been in a boot camp, but we're really in a boot camp for the inner work that needs to be done to create a happy place within ourselves so that when the world becomes an ugly place, that it's not going to sway us off of our game. It's not going to diminish the hopes, the wishes, the faith that we have in ourselves and in the world around us. And then we always have a safe, happy place to retreat to when the world gets cray-cray. So, of course, I am going to invite you to listen to that 2025 year ahead overview for these energies. I'm going to invite you to do the work in that mini course. I'm even going to invite you to dive into the Astro class. And of course, the more wisdom, the more knowledge that you have about where some of these energies are going to be manifesting in your life due to where it is that they present in your chart, of course, you're going to have more power and control over how they manifest. And so again, I invite you that it is definitely better to roll than to be dragged.